Oh, first of all, can we all do a titty shake for the camera? Just titty, 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 titty shake. That is my new favorite thing to say. If I'm just like uncomfortable, I'm just going to titty shake you.
Titty shake. Titty, titty, titty shake.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Dark Collective podcast. And I am here with the ever so lovely Jenn and Bethany.
Pew, pew, finger gun.
I love it. Pew pew. I can't do it that voice though. That's impressive. So you guys, we're so excited. We definitely have an amazing interview today, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But we wanted to kind of just check in with you guys with our lives, just because we've talked a lot about Boston and Jenn, how far are we from Sinners at this point?
Ma'am, I literally refuse to talk about it.
Jenn's mind.
In a few days.
5 months and a few days.
At this point when we're recording. I don't know when it's released.
I know. And it's so crazy because we started this in May of last year and it's been insane. And I feel like you're always on the phone. Like I call you and she's like, I'm on the phone. I'll call you right back. I'm on the phone. I'll call you right back. I'm on the phone. I'll call you right back.
Always in between phone calls.
Phones
all
and
the
emails.
time.
Silent my life.
Oh, God. Speaking of, dude, I hate being on the phone, but I'd rather call someone than text someone. I've always been that way. And I think it's because I'm 40 and these bitches think I'm like a grandma. They constantly.
Who does that?
Oh, so funny story.
Oh, no.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Actually.
There was a day that you had called me a couple times. We were working on something, and I started getting a phone call. And I only saw, like, the letters M and, like, W, like, in the name. And I was like, that's so weird. Red's picture's not up. For those of you who don't know, in my phone, Red has the nickname of Meemaw in my phone.
Fuck you, man.
She's the older one of the group, and we love you. I'm the baby. Okay? So I see this phone call coming in, and I'm just like, that's so weird. Like, I'm busy typing stuff on the computer, and I just hit accept. And I'm like, hey, girl. And just immediate silence. And I'm just like, what is going on? And then all of a sudden, this sweet, raspy southern voice. There, my actual Meemaw was calling. And I was like, Meemaw, how are you doing, love?
Bethany told me and I was dying.
I fucking hate this story.
You're welcome.
The funny thing is while we were in Florida, Bethany was making like these friendship bracelets and she didn't have enough E's. So it was Mifma. So I had to take my F's and put in an extra line to make it an E.
It was beautiful. We had a Sharpie marker to fix all the problems.
I know I'm getting old when I realize that I need like prescription glasses. And I knew that, like, I don't know. I got prescriptions like 2 years ago because doing extensions, I need to be able to see like really close up. And I didn't want to wear them because it made my nose look too big. I was like, no glasses make my nose look small. But then I was like, ooh, I'm going to go buy those Meta glasses so I can like record what I'm doing. And the guy literally when I tried them on, he goes, so you need prescription, right? I'm like, sir, why are you saying that? And in my mind, I'm like, Bethany and Jenn are like, cause she's old. Okay, so the common denominator is that I'm the grandma and I'm old and I'm just waiting for the first day I have to buy fucking Depends. Okay. God.
No, I shared to my Instagram story today. It was like, you know, the starfish from Finding Nemo?
Yeah.
And it's like every time I have a chest pain and it's like, today's the day. And I was like, this is literally my greatest fear right now. Where I'm 34, but like every single time I feel like just a slightest anything in my chest, I'm like, this is it. I'm having a heart attack. I'm going down.
What about the freaking meme that you sent me in the group chat?
Which one?
The one about Omegaverse? Why don't you tell that story?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my God. So she's denying it, but I will fully admit to it. This bitch sends a meme and it's a no, it's not even a meme. It's a screenshot of a comment from one of the groups she's in. And it literally says, I'm old. Can someone explain to me the Omegaverse? And literally texted to me, goes, Red, is this you? And I'm like, I fucking hate you.
It was beautiful.
It sounded like something Red would say. Okay.
For those of you who don't know, Bethany is our little cinnamon roll, monster loving, adorable. We've made so many references to what Bethany could also be known as.
The bunny.
And when the bunny, the fucking karate chop bunny, when we were probably like 3 or 4 months after me and Bethany first met, we were on the phone about something, and I was like, Bethany, can you explain to me what the fucking Omegaverse is? And she just started laughing, like that belly dark laugh. And then I just sat there being like, man, I'm not that cool. I don't know anything.
Oh my God. Today I was watching, or wasn't watching, I was on social media, and it was the thing that popped up, and it said, Jacob Black had a knot. And I was like, no. Twilight. Jacob from Twilight. I didn't even think he had a last name. Jacob.
I didn't.
And I was like, I never thought about that. And then so many people were in the comments, and they were just like, no. Or they were like, I knew it. It makes sense. He's a werewolf.
That tracks on so many levels.
Bethany said, I'm going to go rewatch Twilight with all new eyes.
Right.
Bella's gonna kill me, but I still haven't watched Twilight.
What?
I had Riley watch it. She's Team Jacob.
You have never seen Twilight.
I know what.
Girl, that's like a rite of passage.
I know the lore. I know like all the things that happen. I just like I was like little bitty when it came out, and they were like, "You can't watch this," and now I'm just like, "This is nothing compared to what I read." But I'm not. Guys,
you say itty bitty, or you were little? How little were you?
When did it come out? Like 2000.
It was like. No, it was before that, because I was in high school still, and I was in high school from like 2004 to like 2008.
I would have been under 8 years old.
Oh my God, I'm so old.
Jen, you and I are 10 years apart.
I forget that.
Oh my God. Wait, for reference, you guys, I'm 40. Jen, how old are you?
34.
And how old are you, Bethany?
24.
I fucking hate you.
Oh my God, Red, you could almost be her mom.
In the backwoods of somewhere? No.
She said, absolutely not.
You said you a teen mom. You a teen mom right now.
This is blasphemous.
You went from being my mean mom to my mom. That's some bad
mama. Is that an upgrade?
Oh no. Oh no. God damn it.
Before, people have babies at 16 all the time.
Wait. So this conversation is going outwards, but I'm just gonna roll with it. Bethany, have you seen the movie 10 Things I Hate About You?
Oh, it's my favorite movie.
Okay. Wait, what about Empire Records?
I don't think I've seen that one.
Okay, have you seen How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days? Because that's like my favorite
Also
movie.
my favorite movie.
So good!
Also my favorite movie.
Empire Records is when I questioned my sexuality a little bit, because Liv Tyler was so gorgeous. Oh, people who are listening to this is going to be like, that's fucking horrible. Both of you need to see it. Like, it's so good.
Get in the dumpster.
So good.
Things I Hate About You is why I love Cassie and Nesta from...
Oh, yeah. That is literally... And I've seen those memes pop up lately, like, because a lot of people reference Akatar to New Girl, but lately I've been seeing a lot of 10 Things I Hate About You, and I was like, that's pretty fucking accurate.
You're like maybe?
Yeah. Jesus. But no, this has been a fun conversation of Red realizing she is really fucking old. God.
My mom's leaving her walker here, so I'll bring it to a Polycon. Okay?
I don't deserve this.
I'm just kidding.
That was so uncalled for.
It has a seat. If you get tired, you can sit down.
No one can...
use it. I'll use it. That's how we're going to take my clothing to the table.
I already know that I'm going to get to the hotel or to the Airbnb, and Jen's going to be like, that's your room over there. It's going to have freaking like holding bars, a box of Depends on the bed, some water for my dentures. You fucking bitches, man.
But we love you.
It's okay. It's fine. It's whatever. All right, so we actually have an amazing interview for you guys, not just our shenanigans. Jen, who do we have today?
Today we have Beka Westrup.
Ooh, I am so excited to get to know her. Bethany, I mean, I know that she has like a little bit of monstery things. Are you excited?
I'm so excited for all the paranormal things.
Ugh. All right, you guys. So please enjoy Miss Beka Westrup.
Woo!
All right, you guys. So please welcome the ever so lovely Beka Westrup. Hi, Beka.
Hi!
We are super stoked to have you. We are super stoked to ask you some questions and learn all about you. How's your day going so far?
It's going pretty good.
Good.
I had my husband take the kids to his parents' house, so I have the house all to myself. So it's pretty great.
That's wonderful.
We
always have a
love that.
kid-free day.
I know, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with some questions. So what genres do you write? Do you write monster, dark, contemporary, mafia? What is your bag?
My bag is pretty full. I consider myself kind of a genre hopper. I pretty much love to write anything. Right now I've been writing a lot of paranormal and leaning into like darker genres like dark fantasy and dark romance and all of that, but I love everything. I'll write anything.
So how many books do you have out?
I have, I think, 5. I have 2 through an indie press called Lake Country Press. And then I have 3 that I've self-published, although one of them doesn't come out until April. So I think 5 in the works right now. So
When does it come out in April?
it comes out on April 2nd.
So soon. That's
I know. I'm really
a couple weeks
excited.
away.
I know.
And the book that's coming out in April is called Demons and Roses.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it is a dark demon romance. And it's kind of a blend between like a contemporary dark romance with like paranormal aspects, and then there's like a little bit of like fantasy aspects like towards the end of it. I love blending. So basically it's about a woman who marries for money. She's a gold digger, proudly, and she marries a rich prick. And one day they're at the golf course, and a golf cart runs him over, and he dies right in front of her. And then he comes back to life.
Like a person driving it, or like a lone golf cart? Or can we know?
Where she gets out of the golf cart, and then somehow, magically, the golf cart runs down the hill, and smack. And he dies, but then he comes back to life, and he asks her to call him a different name, and he starts acting weird, and so, yeah.
Karma's a bitch.
That's basically it. Yeah.
I'm like, is he hot?
Yeah.
Like, absolutely.
That's the important part. You know, if he's drool worthy, then it's okay.
So it's fine.
So
Both of his bodies are hot.
Oh, perfect.
there's one.
2 is better than 1.
Ooh,
Yes.
both of his bodies. I'm here for it.
Okay. Can you give us like a sneak peek into one of your favorite scenes in Demons and Roses?
Sure. There is a scene where you know this as the reader, like right off the bat, that Walter is possessed by Levi. But later on in the book, Levi's true form has to come out. And basically he molts. Like during a like demonic ritual,
Okay.
his whole Walter body molts off of him, and then you finally get to meet like the real Levi. So that's probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole book.
I know Bethany is like, I love this because it's like monstery.
It is a little monstery.
I'm here for it. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh. So out of all of your book, like which book has your favorite character?
Oh, that's so hard. I would have to say the Seldom Wings, the main character in the Seldom Wings, which is like high fantasy, dark fantasy. And the main character is Sia, and she's probably my favorite. just because she's like so messy. And I love writing messy characters. I have so much fun with that. So yeah, probably her.
You literally just described me. High fantasy and messy.
It is my favorite. It makes everything worthwhile when you get a messy FMC.
Like, if you ask Jenn and Bethany, they're laughing right now because they have stayed in a hotel with me. They know. And like, I'm all over the place. I can never figure out where I'm going or what I'm doing or what I'm wearing. Like, oh I'm a mess.
Hey, those are the best kind of people. I have 2 best friends that are exactly like that, and I love them to pieces. They're my favorite people.
It's always those things that like, it's the fantasy too. Like Jenn literally calls me, and like the whole Dark Collective calls me their like sweet little baby, because I'm like the high fantasy one. Like I want all of the fairies and the wings and you know all that kind of stuff. And Jen's like mafia, you know.
I like mafia and dark. Monster. It doesn't matter. Bethany's our little cinnamon roll monster.
Mm-hmm.
You're covering all the bases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got it all.
Yeah, Bethany tried to explain to me what Omegaverse was. It didn't go that well.
We're getting there.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, surely.
Have you seen I don't know, there's one TikToker on my feed that comes up every once in a while, and she is super into the book community, but it was just a video of her explaining to her husband what nodding is, and she like had to keep stopping and laughing hysterically, and it was so good. I was like, I like it.
You're like, everyone loves it that reads it, you know. If you don't, then you're not our people, okay? It's so good.
I love that it's a trend on TikTok right now for husbands and boyfriends to read our books. And especially like when I saw it's the what's the book called? I can't think of it right now, but Jenn and Bethany have both been telling me to read it. But he literally was holding the book and he was like, "What? Who?" Like it was perfect. It was just like a smutty scene.
So much.
I know, it was good.
My husband gets to read all of my first drafts. I love that. I have desensitized him to the smut. But it was really fun the first couple times. His face got all like beet red.
It's one of those where he's like, "You wrote this? You wrote this?" You're like, mm-hmm.
Are you trying to say something here? Like, what am I not doing right?
It came in handy later.
Yeah, you're like, "I'll teach you my ways in a little bit, okay?"
Yep.
So when did you decide writing was your passion?
It's always been my passion.
Really?
Ever since I was a kid, yeah. I started off, I would always make up like stories in my head. So that was like a thing from the time I was like, you know, since I could walk. But I started songwriting when I was in high school. So I did a lot of poetry and songwriting then. And I dabbled with like short stories, but I didn't actually start writing seriously until about 4 years ago. It was right after the birth of my second son, which was 2019. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Like we've said it on so many podcasts that we don't know how authors do it. Like it's just, I think one of the things Jenn had actually said, and it resonates with me because I understand what authors go through in this sense, where it's like you put your blood, sweat, tears, heart, everything, and you're just like, I hope you like it, you know, and it's, and you're so young.
People
and
are not
it's
gentle
insane.
with that.
I know. Like, it's just very impressive because, you know, what you guys do is something I could barely put a sentence together, let alone an email.
Well, thank you. Yeah. It's fun. I think if you're called to do it, it'll happen for you, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I always joke that I would love to, like, I'm going to write something someday, but in reality, there's no way on earth that I would actually do it just because I'm a sensitive little baby and I would not be able to take the mean things that people say sometimes. And I'm just like, I would cry all the time and I would try not to read it. But like I see so many authors are like, can you all please stop adding us like in negative reviews? And people are like, no, I love this. It's criticism. Yeah. And you're like, no, that's not okay. No. So
yeah,
like,
the negative, not so fun.
Yeah.
But in my experience so far, the positives have like far outweighed the negatives.
Oh, 100%.
Even though our
that.
brains tend to like hold on to like the negative
Yeah.
stuff a lot. But that's why I stay off of Goodreads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not a place for me.
but
You're
I think
like,
in
that
the
is
book
for
talk
readers?
community, like the positive that comes from your readers
Yeah.
and the love and the joy that people show, like if you give them a simple acknowledgement, like a like or something like that, you know, I love the book talk community solely for that, because as much negative there is 8,020 million more positive to it. And the community is such a strong knit community. And it's like, even with smaller authors or larger authors who started writing 4 years ago, who started writing 30 years ago, like when we interviewed Kat Kingsley, she literally said in the podcast, I suck at social media and I never go on there unless I'm told to. And I'm just like, this is great. And she's been writing, for 25 years. And she was like, I wrote for video games and those fans followed me into the book world. And so every negative comment, I have 80 people attacking them because they love me. And so it's very interesting, the dynamic of it all.
Yeah.
Because some people are diehards. Like, they
Mhm.
will go to bat for you all day. And I just think that's so beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I do think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was curious, as Demons and Roses, you have that coming out in April. What inspired you to write this specific romance? Was there anything that kind of like inspired the characters or the situation, or just like paranormal in general? Because I know you said you write paranormal before, but for this one specifically as well.
So that's a fun story. Most of my books start with dreams.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So I actually had a dream about like my husband not being quite right.
I'm like hitting him with your golf cart.
Nah, that's just because I hate golf.
Golf isn't a sport. I stand by that. It is not a sport.
I know.
It's drinking and driving
yeah.
the golf cart that's fun. Let's be honest. Okay.
That's my favorite part.
Right? I'll go golfing all day if that's all I have to do. Okay.
Yep. So a dream. I had a dream about my husband not being right, and then I woke up and I was like, that's interesting. And I was like, what could have possibly been different about him? And then I was like, what if he was possessed by a demon? And then I was like, let's just roll with that.
Let's just see where it goes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wait, Bethany's like this. I love it. She's just like, I'm going with the motion.
I think I also, and I tend to go into like the demons and angels when I write too. I just love those two like lores.
Mhm.
And I think it came from like growing up in the church and then like deconstructing and then using those lores in ways that would have been like considered like so blasphemous.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise. So it's like a sense of freedom. I love writing about angels and demons. I think it's so fun. It scratches a little itch in my brain.
Oh, I know, girl. I went to Catholic school for 13 years. So like, believe me, I know.
You feel it.
You feel it, and like, it's so funny because like, how there was Sunday school, right? And
Yeah.
I remember, I think I was like 12, that one of my friends was like, oh my gosh, I found this book my mom was reading. And it was one of the like old smut books, like old, like romance books. And it was like Fabio on the front, and I was just like, what is that?
What is that?
You're like, we're not allowed to read that.
I know. Okay, so we talk about demons, we talk about angels and stuff like that. So what all lore do you have in your books, including that?
I have in the Seldom Wings, I've taken a little bit of German lore, because I'm mostly German. So I went back and I put some German lore stuff into that world. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I like making up lore. Like I like
that a lot.
I like reading as much lore as I can on like a particular subject, and then I like twisting things. Like I like making them like completely different than what the lore is. Like for example, in Demons and Roses, Levi stands for Leviathan. And Leviathan used like in the Bible is like this gigantic like sea creature, but I made him one of the princes of hell in the book. And he basically oversees the labyrinth. And so, and the like the mouth of hell. So everyone who comes in, he has to oversee every soul that passes into hell. And he ends up being like the snake in in like the Eve story with the apple, like in the Garden of Eden. So I like doing stuff like that.
Okay,
like throwing
listen,
people off. Like that's cool.
I know I'm not an ARC reader, but I'm gonna need this book ASAP because
I can send it to you.
So good.
I'm gonna be reading it over my shoulder. It's fine.
No problem.
I said TBR who?
It's very spicy, so it should go really fast.
Oh, perfect. That's my cup of tea. Spicy dark.
Like,
yeah, I'm like, is it April 2nd yet? Yes,
almost.
I know, we're so close. So do you write yourself into any of your characters?
I feel like this is a trick question.
Why does every author say that?
Or like, what character did you put yourself into the most? Because I feel like you put like yourself into all of them?
That's
you know?
nice.
So
yeah.
Did you make anyone fully you?
Not fully me. Because I'm sure you guys have gotten this answer before, but I feel like every character I write, even like side characters or like main characters or anything, are all like little pieces of me. Because it's like impossible not to put myself in them when I'm like writing a book.
They're like coming from your brain. So.
Yeah. But I think probably the book that probably carries the character that's most like me is Rose from Demons and Roses. Just because I put a lot of like family trauma in there. That is very similar. So yeah, I would say probably Rose is the most like me character, even though she's still completely different.
So it's Demons and Roses.
I know, it's always
Demons and Roses.
I was like, I love it when they do
that. That was catchy. I liked that.
I like what I see what you did there.
Like, we see what you did there.
As far as Sinners and Stardust goes, what are you most excited for August, people wise or event wise? What are you most looking forward to?
I'm just excited to have a good time. I'm really excited for the ball, to get all dressed up and just like make friends and just take a load off. I think it'll be really nice, even though there's going to be a lot of work involved. But like once it gets to like the ball part, it'll just be like a ton of fun and like stress relief. It'll be great.
Yeah. It's like it's only going to be work until 1 p.m. or maybe 2, depending on how long it takes to pack up the carts and stuff. 2 p.m. on Saturday, and then it's fun the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
It was funny because like we posted the, I do this series on our Instagram where it's like the aesthetic for Sinners and then an aesthetic for Stardust. And it was so funny because I posted the makeup look and it was within minutes of me posting that. We have an attendee chat on Facebook and someone's like, can someone do my makeup? And it's like, girl, I can barely do my own. Like, why did they post that? Like,
we're like, Red, you got to stop doing your makeup artist looks. We love it, but none of us can do it.
And so like, I literally tried to record a tutorial because I was like, oh, this will be great. Like I can show them how to do like the rhinestones. Tell me why I did a 40-minute talking to my phone recording without hitting record.
Oh no. Oh no.
Like, and then
I was like, damn it. Like I had rhinestones all over my face. I was like, this would happen to me. Like, of course.
Scraping them
you
off.
Guys get a picture.
All right. So what is one piece of advice that you would wish you would have had when you first started writing now that you're amazing?
Oh, I would have wanted someone to tell me to just really enjoy writing for myself and to like soak it in as like long as I can. Because there's just something really special about like writing something that you aren't sure anyone is ever going to read. And I feel like there's a very special sense of like vulnerability and like authenticness to that. So yeah, I would say to anyone starting out writing, just like take your time and really soak it in, because you have plenty of time to like crank out books,
I love
like
that.
publishing wise. So
That's awesome.
I love that because I feel like it is so much different now than it was 20 years ago when trying to publish and get books out and all that kind of stuff. It is so impressive, but I will never be able to do it. So I commend you because I will never be able to do it.
She said,
you could. You could. I believe in you.
anything you put your mind to.
If you have the desire to, you absolutely can.
My books will literally be about like rainbows and wings and then a smut scene somewhere in there.
It can
and
be,
then, yeah.
it can be a
Sounds
curvy
like my
hairdresser.
kind of
that
book, ma'am. Rainbows. We got some LGBTQ in here. We got some wings. We got some spice. What you talking about?
And then I'll throw in like a random octopus just for Bethany. Like, there's an octopus living in my rainbow river.
Can he be a little
I'm
side
also
character?
in
Like it's
on
a
it.
little fantasy pet that goes with her places?
Oh my god. Pulling a whole like side.
I'm going to name him George.
That's beautiful.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much, Beka. We're so excited to meet you at Sinners and Stardust. So on behalf of myself, thank you so much.
Thank you. This is so much fun. Let everyone know what your socials are.
So Instagram, that's the one I'm most active on recently. And my tag is Beka Boo Writes. And then on TikTok, I'm Beka Boo Author.
Nice.
That's so cute. I love your tag. But again, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all your sneak peeks for your newest book.
Yes, it was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So you guys make sure to check out Sinners and Stardust as well as the Dark Collective podcast on Instagram. You can check out all of our episodes are on Mondays, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is in our bio. We are on YouTube if you're watching this here. We are also on all other platforms. So make sure to check out Miss Beka as well. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.